Hello my dear friends, welcome to another tutorial of my channel. Today I'm going to make this beautiful and very cute crochet beanie hat for you. This hat is made by very simple and very nice stitch that's called herringbone single crochet for the body and single crochet for the brim of the hat. I made this hat for child size between 6 to 10 years old, but you can adjust that for each size you want. This hat is a sideways hat, and we first make some chains, as many as the height of the hat, and then start the work and make rows back and forth and repeat 4 rows only for the body, and repeat these 4 rows several times until the length of this piece reaches the desired circumference of your head. I made this cute hat with a worsted weight yarn and number 5mm hook. If you're ready, let's get started. For the beginning, make a slip knot and then make some chains until the length of the chains reaches the height of your head. Okay, I will make 39 chains, but these chains may be different for you because of your head size. Make some chains and measure the length of that until reach the height of your head. I made 39 chains, and now start from the second chain from the hook, skip the first, go to the second, make 1 single crochet, then make 1 single crochet into the next, and 1 single crochet into the next chain, and repeat that work 5 more times to have 8 single crochets in total for the brim of the hat. Actually, we should divide these chains to 3 parts. The first part is for the brim. I want to make this brim with only 8 stitches, but this number may be different for you. You can make this part longer or shorter than me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now start the work, start the next part, the body part of the hat, with making a herringbone single crochet stitch. Okay, for making a herringbone single crochet stitch, insert the hook into this loop, the left loop of previous single crochet here, and after that go to the next chain and pull up a loop, and now I have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all of them. This is the first herringbone single crochet. Now for making the next stitch, insert the hook under the last loop of this stitch. We have 3 loops, 1, 2, and 3, and insert the hook here under the third loop of that, and go to the next chain and pull up a loop from that, and again we have 3 chains, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all of them to create the next herringbone single crochet. Repeat that work. Insert the hook under this loop of the last stitch, and then go to the next chain and pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through all of 3 loops on the hook to create next herringbone single crochet, and repeat this sequence. For making each herringbone single crochet, insert the hook into the last loop from the previous stitch, and then go to the next chain and pull up a loop from that, and yarn over, pull through all of 3 loops on the hook, and continue this work and continue making herringbone herringbone single crochets into all stitches except the last 6 stitches. This part is for the brim. You can see the difference between these 2 parts. This part is made by single crochet and the body part is made by herringbone single crochet. You can see the difference. Okay, repeat that work. Okay, the middle part of the first row is finished. I made 24 herringbone single crochets in total, and now for the last 6 chains, make 1 slip stitch into the first 3 of these 6 chains. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Make them loosely and leave the next 3 chains unworked, and row 1 is finished, make a chain and turn the work. And now make 1 slip stitch into the first 3 slip stitches, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, now for making the next row, the second row of the herringbone stitch, we should make 1 reverse single crochet into the next stitch. I mean, insert the hook from the back to the front of the stitch under this yarn, not from here, from here. Insert the hook from the back to the front, not from front to the back. That's the normal single crochet, but we want to make a reverse single crochet. So from here, insert the hook under these 2 loops of the next stitch. Okay, and now grab the yarn and pull it to back, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. This is the first stitch of the body and a reverse single crochet. And for next stitches, make reverse herringbone single crochets. Okay, for making a reverse herringbone single crochet, turn the work to see this loop here, the last loop of previous stitch, and insert the hook into that, and again go to the next stitch from the back to the front under this yarn, and grab the yarn, pull it to back, and now yarn over, pull through 3 loops on the hook to create 1 herringbone, reverse herringbone single crochet. Okay, turn the work to see the stitch, and repeat that work. Turn the work, insert the hook under this loop, the last loop of previous stitch, this stitch here, and then insert the hook from the back to front under next 2 loops here, and grab the yarn and pull it from front to back, and yarn over, pull through 3 loops on the hook to create next reverse herringbone single crochet. One more time, turn the work to see this loop. This is the last loop of the previous stitch, insert the hook under that, and then go to the next stitch from back to front, grab the yarn, pull it through to back, and yarn over, pull through all loops on the hook. One more time, repeat that work. Go to the last loop of previous stitch, and under next stitch, under 2 loops of the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull it to back, and yarn over, pull through 3 loops on the hook, and continue making reverse herringbone single crochets in the same way. Turn the work, insert the hook here into this loop, and here into the next stitch from back to front, grab the yarn and pull it to back, and make 1 herringbone, a reverse herringbone single crochet, and you can see this texture at the right side of the hat, and continue this work until here. Okay, now I reached the brim of the hat, and I should make 1 back loop only single crochet into each of these stitches. Insert the hook into the back loop of the stitch, not under both loops of that, here, and make 1 back loop only single crochet. Again, go to the back loop of the next and make 1 single crochet into that, and repeat that work for all of these 7 stitches. Now for the last stitch, make 1 single crochet under both loops of the stitch, not into the back loop of that, because we want to have a clean edge in this side. So make the last stitch under both loops of the stitch of previous row. Make a chain and turn the work. Row 2 is finished, and you can see the right side of the pattern at the end of this row. And start row 3 with making 1 single crochet into the first stitch under both loops of that, and 1 back loop only single crochet into each of next 7 stitches for the brim of the hat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and now I have 8 stitches for the brim again, and we should start making herringbone single crochets again, such as row 1. Insert the hook under this loop, the left loop of the last stitch here, and go under 2 loops from the next stitch. Grab the yarn and pull it through, and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Now insert the hook under this loop, the last loop of previous stitch, and make next herringbone single crochet. Repeat that work. And make each of next stitches in the same way. Make 1 herringbone single crochet into each stitch of previous row. Okay, after making 24 herringbone stitches for the body, make 1 slip stitch into each of next 3 stitches here under these 2 loops. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we should work into these unworked stitches of row 1. So first insert the hook into this loop here, and then go to the next stitch, then the first unworked stitch of row 1, and make 1 slip stitch and 1 slip stitch into the last 2 chains, and row 3 is finished. Make a chain and turn the work and start row 4. You can see this side, the wrong side of the hat. And now make 1 slip stitch into first 6 slip stitches of previous row. Here, this is the first slip stitch. Insert hook under both loops of that and make the first slip stitch loosely into that, and make next slip stitches to have 6 stitches. And now we should make a reverse single crochet into the next stitch. So insert the hook from the back to front under both loops of the stitch, and grab this yarn to the back and yarn over, pull through first these 2 loops on the hook, and after that make reverse herringbone single crochets. Okay, turn the work, insert the hook here into this loop from the same single crochet, and then go to the next stitch from back to front, grab the yarn, pull it to back, and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Now insert the hook here into this loop here, and under these 2 loops of the next stitch from back to front, grab the yarn, pull it to back, and make next herringbone single crochet, and continue that work and make next herringbone stitches in the same way until reach the brim of the hat. Okay, after making all of reverse herringbone stitches, make 1 back loop only single crochet into the next stitch from the brim. Again, 1 back loop only single crochet into the next, and repeat that work for each of next 5 stitches to reach the last stitch. And don't make the last stitch in this way. Make 1 single crochet under both loops of that. Make a chain and turn the work, and you can see the right side of the hat and this beautiful pattern at the end of row 4. And now we have a section with these 4 rows, and we should repeat these 4 rows to make next sections such as that. Okay, so after this row, row 4, again repeat this row. Make 1 back loop only single crochet into the stitches of the brim, 1 herringbone single crochet into the next reverse stitches, and from this part, the last 6 stitches, make 1 slip stitch into the first 3 of that, and leave the last 3 unworked, and turn around, and for next row make 1 slip stitch into each of these 3 slip stitches, 1 reverse herringbone for each of these stitches, and 1 back loop only single crochets into this part, and repeat that work, and come back and make the next stitches in this side, and at the end of row 3 make the last 3 unworked stitches with a slip stitch into each of them, and turn the work, and repeat row 4 with making 1 slip stitch into each of 6 stitches, 1 herringbone, reverse herringbone stitch into the next stitches, and 1 back loop only single crochets here. Okay, repeat this row 1, then row 2, row 3, and row 4 to make next sections, and continue making these sections until the length of this piece from here, from the beginning of the row 1, reaches the desired circumference of the head. So I will repeat these 4 rows several times, and then I'll come back. I repeated the first 4 rows from row 1 to row 4 14 more times, and now I have 15 repeats in total, and the length of my piece has reached my desired circumference. And this is the front view of my work. You can see this beautiful texture, and that's the back view of that. Okay, and now I'm ready to join these 2 edges together. So with right side facing me, put 2 edges together. Now insert the hook into this loop from the first row, and grab the loop, pull it through, make a chain, and then join this loop, the same loop, to the back loop of front stitch from last row, here and here, not under both loops. Okay, make 1 slip stitch. Again, go to the next loop from row 1, and back loop of the next stitch from last row, and make 1 slip stitch. One more time. This loop and this loop of last row, make 1 slip stitch, and repeat that work for each of next 5 stitches for the brim of the hat. And then for the body and the top of the hat, join each stitch of row 1 to the front stitch under both loops of that, not into the back loop. Okay, we should join first 8 stitches to the back loop of front stitches, but for the body, join each stitch to the front stitch under both loops. Okay, my work is finished, and all stitches are joined. And now fasten off and leave a long tail for sewing this hole, and cut the yarn. Pull this loop and weaving this tail through the stitches of top of the hat. So insert the needle into these loops, and pull the yarn. Again, insert the needle into these loops, the next loops of next rows, and pull the yarn, and repeat that work until the end. And after weaving the tail through all stitches, put the yarn tightly to close the hole. And then make some stitches at top of the hole. And at the end, make a tie with these two tails. And cut the yarn and hide the tails through the work. And turn the work to the right side. You can see the top of the hat. That's very nice. And you can see this invisible join here. Sorry, I should find that here. If you want, you can attach a pom-pom at top of your hat. And now the beautiful and super easy crochet beanie hat is ready. I hope you like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video and leave a comment. Have a nice day.